Are we on? Are we on? Are we on? Good morning, everybody. Good morning. It's the truth, sir. I hope today finds everybody well and highly uh, uh, a wild election and all the fallout from the propaganda media and everything else that's going on. Jimmy Kimmel, he's crying on TV. Jimmy Kimmel, they chopped his ball off. Didn't he once upon a time do the Man Show? Now he's crying like a bitch during his monologue. Wow. First and foremost, folks, go get a coffee, whatever you got to do. Let's say hello. Thank you, JC. You know, and by the way, Erica, that's how we do it over here. Let's talk about this autopsy. What's the coroner's report for this election? Look at this microphone. Let's take a look at the coroner's report. What were the contributing factors of how this was just a landslide victory? Well, I don't have enough time during the day, unfortunately, to go over all the factors and all the mistakes that the Democrats made, but we'll try to look at a couple. All right. So go get your water. The View, oh my gosh, the propaganda media, they just won't stop. The propaganda media won't stop. All right. Ta-da. First of all, let's look back at just what we've seen on TV over the past 4 years. If this video even lasts on YouTube, because those motherfuckers got me censored. So what are you gonna do? Forgive me, Jesus. I just showed you a picture of Jesus, and now I'm swearing. I'm a sinner. Defund the police. Who was the Einstein? Who was the political Marxist strategist for these globalists that will say defund the police? That sounds about right. That sounds about right. Well, here's another one. Well, how about this, folks? Let's turn Easter, one day Easter, into National Transgender Month. Let's get rid of Easter during that month and turn Easter into National Transgender Month. Kamala, you can't keep listening to Obama. You can't listen to George Soros. You can't listen to Bezos and Bill Gates. Yeah, they'll put some money in your pocket, but you're gonna get shamed. Go back to California and do all your opportunity and all this and that. Yeah, we got an opportunity economy, and I was raised in a middle class. You showed your ass. Obama showed his ass. Bill Gates showed his ass. Hillary Clinton showed his ass. Joe Biden showed their ass. They all showed their ass. Now, what is The View and CNN doing? The same bullshit that propaganda media got Trump elected in the first place. You're not relevant anymore. Propaganda media and all that bullshit. America came out and said, fuck you, The View and Whoopi Goldberg. Fuck you, CNN. That's what happened. That's what happened. We ain't listening to that shit. People could gather information at other sources, not network TV, not your traditional network TV. Their ratings are all plummeting. Are they ever going to move more toward the middle than to just be extreme radical TV propaganda? The View and CNN, have they learned anything yet? Or they just want to keep plummeting? So we just know there's a propaganda tool out there called The View, ABC, CNN. America knows, but their voice is but a whisper now. Their voice is a whisper. Who wants to go there? By the way, The View, there was the biggest women came out and voted in droves for Donald Trump. Okay, The View. Okay, Whoopi and Joy Behar and all them clowns. The women made their votes. The biggest turnout. Who are you preaching to, The View? Who are you preaching to? A paid audience? That every time you say something, the producer puts the applause sign up? Yeah. Whoopi Goldberg says something, it's crickets, and then the producer has to put the applause sign up so they can say, yeah, good point, good point. You're irrelevant. There. Let's continue. So here's the coroner's report. First mistake they made, defund the police. So now you just alienated tons of people. You've just alienated people directly that just support the police in general, and then you just alienated families of the police, and just everybody wants to support the police. What do those scumbags on the other side come up with? Defund the police. So number one, that's one of the freaking one of the things that contributing factor to their death, that contributed to their political death. You know, who wants that? I mean, who wants that? Then they come up with that DEI bullshit. Oh, and just you could get approved if you got purple hair or you're some kind of freak. You just get hired for a job. You just get just like the Secretary of State, that Chia head that just talks shit, but she's gone. The Chia head, Jean Pierre, whatever. Bye bye, bitch. Bye bye. You're gone. You're a DEI hire. Kamala Harris was a DEI candidate. Kamala Harris was a DEI, but you had no merits. You had no merits in America. You could get other jobs in America, but when the presidency is concerned, stick your DEI in your ass. We've seen what you were. We've seen what you were. So you just alienated everybody that believed in that. How about the Christians? How about the Christians? Screw you, Israel. Screw Netanyahu came for the meeting for Kamala Harris. The Prime Minister of Israel come. She stiffed Netanyahu because she was out shaking her ass in Atlanta the night before. Now you lost the whole Christian base. The coroner's report, well, look it up. Yeah, another contributory factor was that. So here's another one. Men and women's sports. Men and women's sports. Who thought of this? Who come up with this one? Obama, George Soros, Bezos, Bill Gates, Lucifer. Who come up with this Einstein move? Check their papers. Tim Walz. Tim Walz. Well, he had the tampon, so maybe he wanted check his papers. Check his papers. Trying to mess with little girls and little boys. Check his papers. There's something that's going to be exposed of this Tim Walz somewhere down the line. Here's another prediction I'll make. That scumbag show, The View, they're plummeting. They're irrelevant. So what they're going to try to do is put a little testosterone on that panel. They'll get some, fruity guy that's half fruity, and they're going to put him on the panel. So then they can try to relate to the men. On the men. It's a woman's knitting circle. It's a political apparatus for the Democrat Party. But they're going to probably, within the next 6 months, The View, which is plummeting in its ratings, they'll probably put a little fruity guy in there that might be half an intellect, and then they can just keep pounding against the Republican Party and Donald Trump. That's what will probably happen. So we got that. Kamala. Mommy, I want to be a boy. You can't be a girl, Sally. Oh, I'm going to go to the police. Well, mommy, I want to be a girl. No, you can't. Well, I'm going to go to. So if you refuse your child, they wanted that the parents, they could take the children children and make them a ward of the state, because a parent doesn't want their child that's been taught in school, because the school teachers were telling the children, you could be a girl, Billy, you're in 4th grade, you could be a boy, Sally. So these kids were coming home in California telling their parents, I want to be a boy or a girl, and they says no, 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 and they went back to school and said, my mommy won't let me, and then they took the children out of the house. That's the state that Kamala scumbag Harris comes from. That's where they come from. Why didn't she talk about her policies? I got 95 reasons here why she didn't talk about her policies. All she did was an opportunity economy for this and that and everything else. And we're gonna do this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She went to the freaking school of Obama with the hands, And then what's Obama come out and say? The black men are stupid. How many people did they want to alienate during this election? How many people did they want to race bait, gender bait, everything else? Well, listen, folks, if you're a little confused and you just want me to wrap things up in a little tighter package, I'll do that, okay? Every segment, every demographic, Americans came out and voted for Trump. Americans that happen to be Puerto Rican, black, women, every demographic you can come up with, Americans voted for Donald Trump. Okay, so The View and those devils and CNN, they could spin it, and now they're all throwing up and they're all in shock. Well, this vote base, this voting base, you alienated every voting base out there, you fucking retards. And now you're sitting back going, what happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? Who were their political strategists? These are Marxist puppets. Kamala couldn't roll with these people. Obama's telling her to do this, do it like this, do it like that. Yeah. And then Obama can't get his way, and he pisses on the black men because he says the black men can't make a formidable decision. Black men, how many people did they want to alienate from their party? This is the autopsy. This is the aftermath. How many people did they want to alienate? You have to do it on purpose. You have to do it on purpose. Wow. Holy cow. What else we got here, folks? Ramen noodles, bread, eggs, bagels. Oh, that's my shopping list. Mingy, it's kind of short. That's my shopping list for the grocery store. There's only 4 cheap items on there. I don't see any steak or potatoes or meat on this shopping list. Forgive me, folks. That's my shopping list. Right near my notes. Of course I staged that, but we got to laugh a little too, okay? Yeah. What else we got out of here? Oh my God. Student loan forgiveness. Well, go put an extra shift in at the factory, so all the people that went they went belly up on their student loans. You folks pay your taxes. Forgive them. Forgive them and all their loans. Forgive them and all their loans. New York State giving all freaking $10,000 debit cards to all illegal aliens. All illegal aliens in New York State, 10,000. Stay at the embassy suites on New York State taxpayer dollars. Thank you, Dorothy Hochul. The only thing missing from Dorothy Hochul are the fucking devil horns. So you folks came out and said you had enough of paying through your taxpayer dollars for these demons that truly don't have your best interests. Quite apparent for this landslide. How much the popular vote? What is it? 6 million and counting the difference? Trump got 6 more million in the popular vote. That's unheard of. I don't know. I think you got to go back to 1847 or where there was something that lopsided. So, Mr. Anderson, Michael K., it's me. It's me. I already got censored on Facebook. All right. It didn't take Facebook long to censor me over there. Them scumbags. Yeah. Because I just ran off 3 or 4 uh, uh, election videos over there. Yeah. Them communists over there. Wow. Doesn't it feel like you're just walking on air now? You got those devils out of the office, and now you're just like, yeah, can we just, you watch all this crazy stuff, and that's not America. That's not America. You're just watching all this. What? Let's see what else we got on the list. Yeah. Mm. Here we go. Mm. They wanted to strip your choice of what school your children go to, including private schools. Why would they do that, folks? Well, wow, that sounds extreme. That sounds radical. These are radical motherfuckers. That's why. Why would they want? Why would they want? Because we like to unpeel things over here, Frank. We like to unpeel things. Why would they just say, we want to have a voice in where your children is educated? And, well, public schools, you think, well, no, they wanted to do it to private schools too. Why? So they can indoctrinize your fucking child from first grade and second grade and tell them that they could be girls and boys and all these other radicals. I think the Democrat Party better start to move toward the middle a little bit, because your propaganda media is tanking. They're tanking. The View is tanking. ABC News is tanking. CNN, they're tanking. You're just going to be recognized as some kind of media platform that nobody gives a shit about. And obviously, it's already happened. So who's their editorial people? Who's the high-ranking people at CNN, ABC, for The View? Who are the shot callers? Who are the shot callers for this propaganda media? They're people that are Marxist people in high places. A lot of these billionaires, they own these companies. They own these networks. They're Marxists. They're Marxists. You could pay me $10 million a year. I'll go on The View and I'll say whatever they want me to say. Give me that 10 million. I'll look like a fool. Give me that 10 million. They're all crying. Jimmy Kimmel was crying during his monologue. Jimmy Kimmel, if I'm not mistaken, once upon a time, didn't Jimmy Kimmel do the Man Show? Jimmy Kimmel, when he was still coming up, didn't he do the Man Show? He sold out to the propaganda media, and they let him chop his balls off. You're a punk bitch, Jimmy Kimmel. Straight up punk bitch. We're gonna leave the country if Trump's elected. Well, he get on your airplanes. They're crying. If Trump's elected, we're gonna move out of the country. Well, get to stepping. Get to stepping. We don't need George Clooney to tell us who to vote for. We don't need Beyonce to tell us who to vote for. Okay? We don't need any of that. We don't need Robert De Niro to tell us who to vote for. You live out in La La Land, Hollywood, and now you just wasted all that money to her campaign fund. You wish you had a refund, huh? All that Hollywood scum. You wish you had a refund? It wasn't even close. If it was a boxing match, they would have threw the towel in 30 seconds into the first round. All that stuff. They threw everything you possibly could. They have a report that, listen to this, folks. You talk about America made its voice. Here, Mr. Ferraro, here's a nice Scooby snack. Here's a Scooby snack. Michael Candinas, all you guys, here's a Scooby snack. Donald Trump, of course, had to fight everything. They tried every tool, the weaponization of the Department of Justice, lawfare, assassination attempts. They've tried everything. The media that was out, for all the media outlets, okay, folks, consider this. The media, in whatever form, was 98% anti-Trump. 98%. All those commercials, all the commentary, everyday commentary, it was on a loop around the clock. All the media, all 98%, they got the most media propaganda outlets, print and network media. So they you try to use that propaganda, 98% negative ads and commentary against Trump. 98, I don't know where it's 100%. It should be 100%. I don't know where they get 98, but it's 100% negative ads and their daily shows on a loop. Trump's no good, Trump's no good, Trump's no good. That is the first time in history it's ever been that slanted that much, because the Marxists thought this was their chance. The Marxists, the Soros, the Obamas, the Bezos, the Bill Gates, and all those puppet masters, they thought this was their first shot, that they actually had a chance to get it in. And who'd they pick? Well, they didn't pick because there wasn't a primary. So this was the only window of time that these Marxists, who Obama deals with, and Bezos and all them, this was the only time that they had that bat. They had that bat. Wow, we got a shot. They completely went against our political process. There was no primary at all. So this was their only chance that they could try to get this over the plate in American history. And it was their only at bat. Usually these Marxists might infiltrate Congress or local or county or state places. You get these radical lefts, but these are just extreme radical Marxists, on a spectrum of moderate, progressive, conservative, and all this and that. There's radical lefts that might say some stupid shit here or there. And then you got what you got during this election. Extreme evil psychopathy, which is psychopaths. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for coming on in here and everything else. Oh, Facebook. Okay, Facebook. Neri Carey, she ran the thing for Donald Trump. Neri Carey. She saw my videos on Facebook. She's rubbing elbows. She had something to do with the 2024 election. Neri Carey. Facebook, which they just censored me on Facebook too. She put some stuff on there. She loved everything I said. Now, when my ability to respond, they took it off. They work fast. This censorship of these platforms, YouTube and Facebook, it took them less than 24 hours. Yeah. They work fast. What's up, David? So, what else we got on the autopsy report? I don't know. What else? Traditional marriage protections? We ain't even going to get into that. Traditional marriage. Yeah. What else we got? When you look back and look at all the propaganda media and all the bullshit they try to feed everybody, and Trump's a Nazi. Well, listen, CNN and The View, Donald Trump. Okay, you got two people applying for a job. What is their resume? Well, Donald Trump already did this job. Very well, might I add. Donald Trump already did this job. That's on his resume. What's on Kamala's resume? Transgender surgeries for inmates on public taxpayer money. That's on Kamala's resume. All freaking perverted shit. They're all perverted. So when you look at the resumes to hire a job, America said, well, he did this job before. I kind of want him, duh. That's why it was a bloodbath. Now, you got two candidates pleading their cases, Two candidates that are pleading their cases like two lawyers that are trying to, and she's a district attorney, and she was a DA. She's got no communication skills. So that was all. Whatever she did in California was just whatever, garbage. She don't even have any communication skills. So you got these two people pleading their cases like Kamala's a former DA. Trump is smarter than lawyers anyways. So you got these two people pleading their closing arguments. They're pleading their cases. On this side, you got Exhibit A, Exhibit B, Exhibit C of everything good that Donald Trump did for America. Exhibit A through Z. Boom, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Well, now let's look at Kamala and Joe Biden, and let's look at what they have provided during their stints. Weird out, perverted, woke, bullshit, DEI, everything else, no border. By the way, she's the border czar. She's up there on day one. I will do this. It's day 1,347, Kamala Harris. The people are still hemorrhaging down, coming in through the border. What the fuck are you talking about on day one? It's day 1,400. So you're not going to be able to plead your case to the Americans. Your case has no foundation. You have a trail of destruction, perversion, and everything else mixed into your campaign. On this side, we have Donald Trump, who already did the job. Why is it such a surprise? Well, there could have been a rigged election. Why should it be a surprise? Because they're so crooked. That's why. They're so crooked. And let's establish this fact. There's still some outstanding states. Hold on here. Turn on Fox News or something and see that there's still some states that are undecided, okay? The state of Florida can handle 100 million votes in 2 hours, but these other states can't handle 3 million votes in 4 days. Okay, you know why? You want to know why? Because these states that are outstanding, they kept these states on deck. They kept them on deck in case it was a very tight race that all the retarded pollsters told everybody that it's such a tight race. So they were going to keep these other states with their electoral votes. They were going to keep them on deck just in case they needed them today or tomorrow or Monday down the road so they can count 65 votes, okay? So they're going to put them on deck. In case it was real close, and then all of a sudden Monday comes around and they go, oh, all the votes are counted, Kamala won. So they kept, their strategy was keep these other 3 states that might be able to tip the scales on the electoral vote. Well, the vote was over by midnight. The vote was over by midnight, so we don't care. We don't care about, we've seen that movie before. It's a rerun. It's a rerun. What else we got on this list? Man, I feel like it's, I say politics is politics and everybody should have fun and enjoy. But when they're trying to do, I'm from a military family, that family members blood on the battlefields. Don't come in here with that Marxist bullshit from Tim Walz and Kamala Harris that are the 2 biggest radicals on planet Earth. They got shamed. They better readjust. They better realign the Democratic Party and all their propaganda bullshit networks, because if they continue to be so radical with their propaganda media and propaganda candidates, radical candidates, you're going to see, for instance, Trump's got 4 years. Trump's got 4 years. Let's look ahead, folks. Who's next? J.D. Vance is good looking. J.D. Vance might have some presidential aspirations. Boom. That should be a no-brainer because Trump is going to get the country back. J.D. Vance will be a great vice president. So when 2028 comes around, I'm probably thinking that J.D. Vance is going to run. If propaganda media continues their shit, J.D. Vance will win just like Trump won. And who will be his vice president? Vivek Ramaswamy? Vivek Ramaswamy? Italian. These guys got brains. They got brains. So if they're strategists, their propaganda media, and the Democrat Party executives and officials and globalists and Marxists and whoever they are, they better realign their party and tell their propaganda media to tone it down. Because if they don't, it's going to be a worse bludgeoning for these future elections. So Whoopi Goldberg and all your bullshit, they're all crying, going protest and all this. You're not relevant anymore. Who cares about these 6 fat asses on there that are all anti-everything and they're just spoon-feeding Americans all this bullshit? Nobody cares, Whoopi. Your ratings are plummeting. Your propaganda media, CNN, Jake Tapper, Joe Scarborough, nobody cares about your radical propaganda anymore. You better move more toward the middle because your ratings are going to get worse if it's possible for these people ratings to get worse. Traditionally, there's been radical media here and there. But this is extreme radicalism. Perverted, anti-Christian, anti-police, anti-anything that's good. They're evil demons. They better switch it up real quick because there's going to be a monopoly of Republican presidents for the next 30 years if they don't get their propaganda media in line and put some candidates up there other than Tim Harris and Kamala Harris, the 2 worst candidates ever in the history of America. Check their track records. The 2 biggest radicals, scumbags that could ever, well, they didn't get in on their own merits. There wasn't even a primary. Sorry, Obama. Sorry, Bill Gates. Sorry, Hillary Clinton. Sorry, Jeff Bezos. All these globalist billionaires. Kamala can't roll with these types. She more or less panicked. She had all that nervous laughter. She couldn't roll. She can't rub elbows with this element. She can't rub elbows. She's out of her league. When she started to do interviews, when first she was refusing all the interviews, and then when she started, she said the same thing. I'm from the middle class family. I'm from the middle class. I'm looking for the opportunity economy. She said the same bullshit. Some of the interviewers finally turned on her and they were propaganda on her side. They couldn't even take it during the interviews. Her own team couldn't even take it. They said, answer the freaking question. On day one, we'll get the border. Well, last time I looked, Cinderella, you were the border czar, and it's up to day 1,426. Day 1, what are you on fucking crack? Day 1, I'm going to start to address the border. Everybody's seen through this bullshit. Everybody's seen through this bullshit. Now they're all sitting back, The View and CNN and ABC, they're all sitting back going, what happened? I don't know. She said this. I don't know what happened. Geez, they said that. What happened? What happened? What happened? You did everything you possibly could that was anti-American. Kamala, Joe Biden, Tampon Tim, propaganda media, you did everything that was anti-American. Well, let's see who voted. Who are the scumbags that voted for Donald Trump? Who are the scumbags that voted for Donald Trump? Okay, who are the scumbags? This election, my good people, everybody from every demographic, men, women, black, white, red, boom, boom, boom. The Bonzo, thank you, man. I am. Thank you, the Bonzo. I appreciate that, man. I can go get some maple honey ham now. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. God bless you and your family, the Bonzo. Who voted for this Nazi Donald Trump? Who voted for this women hater? Everybody on his cabinet is a woman. Most of the people that Donald Trump's appointing for they're all women. Who's this woman hater? Well, let's see who voted for Donald Trump. Thank you, the Bonzo. Every demographic. Puerto Ricans, blacks, Irish, Italian, men, women. What's that mean, the truth serum? Americans voted for Donald Trump. Americans voted for Donald Trump. Sorry, CNN. Sorry, The View, because they're trying to break it down and go, oh, well, the black men. What did Obama do? You could thank Obama. He come out there and said, a black man, they saw the statistics. Obama come up there and said, you stupid black men, you got to get out there and vote. You're not capable of making rational decisions. Obama, are you deliberately trying to tank Kamala Harris's election? You're the slave master, Obama. Are you the slave master to the black men of America? Well, here's a news flash. You fooled everybody once when you got the black vote, Obama. And then what happened? What happened after that? You abandoned them all, and then you come up with the freaking Obamacare, the Affordable Care, all that bullshit. The Patriot Act. What was all the Patriot Act? It was 1,000 pages that wanted Americans to agree with Marxist freaking precepts. That nobody's going to sit back and read 1,000 pages of the Patriot Act. It's the Ex-Patriot Act. Obamacare was going to want to make you have less ability. You're going to have to go to our doctors. Well, sorry, Obama. It don't work. Sorry. All that bullshit. So what's he do? Obama comes out there and tells the blacks. Now, see, the blacks saw they got screwed with Obama. So they were dependent on that. Then he can't take the pressure. Him and that Hillary, that other demon, Hillary, they couldn't take the pressure, and they want to blame the black man because we're the slave masters of the black men, and we got to tell them what to do because they're uneducated and they can't tie their own shoes. Oh, really? How'd you think that would turn out, Obama? How do you think that was going to turn out? How do these people get to their political power when they're just evil, anti-American, and the gig is up? The gig is up. The gig is up. You know, we got some swampland. The people aren't buying swampland anymore, okay? Here's another cutie pie move. I got a list. Whatever. Kamala. Inflation is 1.2%. Inflation. Now, I believe that Americans go to the grocery store. I believe that Americans go to the gas station. So inflation is 1.2%. So if there was an item for $1.70, it went up to $1.71. Kamala, is that what you're telling us, Kamala? When the economic reports come out, inflation is 1.2%. What she failed to report that was it went up another 1.2% to add on to 300%. So inflation was 299%. She tried to rig the freaking report and go, inflation went up 1.2% on top of 400%. Who were their strategists? They're trying to tell you what your reality is. They're trying to tell you that they know more about your life and your everyday. Who does that? Historically, who would do that? Communists, socialists, Marxists? Connect the dots. Connect the dots. Thank you, the Bonzo. Kathy, what's going on? David BMX. I love it. They're all eating crow. Joe Scarborough and all them on CNN, they're all looking at each other. Get over it. You don't count. You guys just became irrelevant overnight. All your dirty deeds, 99% negative ads and propaganda news against Donald Trump. 99%. They blew $1 billion on the election. All those Hollywood scumbags. Robert De Niro. Yeah. Boo hoo hoo. Jimmy Kimmel's crying on stage during his monologue. They chopped his balls off. Jimmy Kimmel. They're all crying. What happened? Yeah. You're irrelevant. George Clooney, you're irrelevant. You're actors. You tried your performance. You tried to win an Oscar during the election. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. You're all worth millions of dollars. The average Joe American is struggling. You're all worth millions. Yeah, go Kamala, go Kamala. Yeah. It shifted in one night. It shifted in one night. They're going to tell the Americans how to think and who to vote for. Trump had to fight lawfare, number one, 45 felonies. Oh, they're all getting dropped. Oh, really? Because there's a new DOJ coming to town? There's a new sheriff coming to town? And Sliff and all them guys, Trump's. You better get on a plane and get out of Trump, because those are legitimate crimes. Those are legit. The Department of Justice, what they try to do to Trump, that's treason. What they've committed treasonous acts against America, which Donald Trump, treason. The gig is up. You better get your toothbrush and underwear together, because you're going to go to prison. Their assassination attempts, lawfare, 85 felonies. Now that scumbag prosecutor, Letitia James, is in New York. That scumbag, Letitia James, that was the instigator of all that shit. The Democrat Party higher ups had to tell her, it's over, homegirl. It's over, homegirl. He could come back on you, Letitia James. It's over. He's the president. He has executive power. And he's going to have the Congress and the House to follow whatever he wants to do. You don't have carte blanche anymore. The sheriff is back. They got to tell all those scum DAs in all these Democrat towns, well, New York City, that tried to imprison Donald Trump, it's over. You better hope he don't come back and put your ass in jail. And then you're going to have to spend millions of dollars in court to defend your case. Well, I could win the case anyways. Well, then get your bank. You better get some money. Donald Trump blew $100 million defending his court cases. Go ahead, Letitia James. He'll bankrupt you. Letitia James. He could put 46 counts of treason against you. Probably criminal suits and civil suits. Go ahead, Letitia James. You want to rock and roll? So now they had to drop the charges. Oh, really? What a coinky dinky that is. Well, now they're dropping the charges. Well, if you were such a responsible attorney, you would still fight to prosecute that. If you were just a responsible doing the work for the people, you would still want to prosecute crimes. He gets elected. The high Democrat Party has to tell Letitia James to say, tone it down. The sheriff's back. Everybody's going to go down. Don't keep instigating this shit. Oh, we're not going to give up. We're going to have protests. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Really? Really? You want to instigate riots across America? Really? You got millions of dollars to defend yourself in court? If Donald Trump wants to start charges against you, he'll bankrupt you, Letitia James. Enough's enough. Enough's enough. The weaponization of these people, it's over. Because now they're going to come back and you got the greatest minds of America lawyers, and everything else. Alan Dershowitz, all that, they're going to come back. And guess who they're for? They're for Donald Trump. They'll look through all the minutes of all those things, and they'll come back and they'll find 36 charges against these scumbags that try to weaponize the Department of Justice and their attorney general and the district attorney offices. They'll be going to jail. So tone it down. They're so polluted in their minds that they can't look ahead and say, well, geez, I better chill because, Donald Trump can afford lawyers and blow $100 million on lawyers and more. Can you, Letitia James, and then all your other district attorneys and the DOJ, wait till you see what happens to the DOJ. Oh, it's going to be a transition. Trump's going to put his people in the DOJ. But what's going to happen to the other ones? Yeah. What's going to happen to Mayorkas? Yeah. They're putting bullets behind that. We're not going to unpack the assassination attempts, but connect the dots. Check my other videos. What's going to happen to Cheeto? What's going to happen to all them when the transition of power is? Line them up all in line to answer questions in court and put them all on a bus and put them in prison. Okay, the gig is up. The gig is up. Letitia James. Yeah. And another thing, folks, very quite interesting footnote to New York State politics. New York State politics. The most embedded Democratic state outside of California. Democrat embedded devils. Look at this Hochul, this Dorothy Hochul, this evil demon. Now, if we're looking at numbers, we've seen the president election. We've seen the president election. There's governors and states and everything else. Everything's shifting toward Republican. In the most historical embedded Democrat states, Trump just broke all the records for history on voting in counties and states and everything else. He broke the record. New York State made a huge shift. Now, New York State has all these big unions. All the big unions, like the teachers union and other types of unions, powerful unions that the Democrats always get 100% of those union votes. It's a no-brainer. New York State. Okay? New York State. Since the beginning of time. You give me a raise, I'm voting Democrat. The teachers union, they vote on their own raises, and there's other big unions. If you look at the numbers compared to previous elections, the Republican race for governor and other big seats in New York State assembly, legislature, and all that, they gained a lot of ground. So just for the sake of saying that, New York State's always going to have a Democrat governor, Where'd they send all the freaking illegal immigrants to? New York State. So when you get your tax bill, Billy and Sally, your New York State residents, when you get your tax bill because they gave the illegal aliens $10,000 debit cards that you're paying for, New York State residents, and they're staying at the Taj Mahal over here in Cheektowaga, they're staying at the Embassy Suites. The kid showed me he couldn't speak English. He had a debit card for $10,000. He didn't know how to work it. They sent them all over here too. So New York State residents, when you're paying your taxes, keep that in mind, okay? Keep that in mind while they're putting the freaking veterans in the sleep. You know what they did? They took all the veterans out of the shelters and put the immigrants that there was no more room left at the Marriott when all those rooms in New York City got filled. Then the shelters where the veterans were, they put the veterans on the street and they put the illegal immigrants into those shelters. So while you're rooting for the Democrat Party, get your wallet out and pay for the taxes that just put New York State another $4 trillion in debt. Another $4 trillion while you're cheering for the Democrats. So go ahead, rot on the vine. I don't pay taxes. Put an extra shift in at the factory, Billy and Sally, while you're applauding Hochul and all these other democrats. Go ahead, folks. Go ahead. You support your oppressor. It's called the Stockholm Syndrome. Like women that get kidnapped and held hostage, then they fall in love with their hostage. The kidnapper. They fall in love. You better come around. Hey, EB23. Great point. Great point. I got an editor in here. By the way, Trump did huge in California. He won a lot of districts and counties. Imagine that. Trump performed higher in New York State and California than the history since the beginning of time. So they better take a good look at themselves and start coming up with some logical stuff. Governor Newsom, the gig is up. The gig is up. New York State, California, yep. EB23. I alluded to that earlier in my video. Let's look at what now and where we're going moving forward. Well, geez, all right. It looks like people have come to their senses, and maybe we're heading in a good direction. Trump will get us back. He already did it before. What about after that? J.D. Vance? Perfect. J.D. Vance. So J.D. Vance. Now you're looking at Gabbard, Tulsi Gabbard, or Gabbard running. Vance. I'm looking Vance Vivek Ramaswamy. Nonetheless, you know what? I do like that lady, though. She don't mess around. Neither does Vivek. These are all good thinking people. It's a tough choice. It's a tough choice. They picked Tampon Tim Walz. They picked Kamala Harris. Look at these names. J.D. Vance, Gillibrand, Vivek Ramaswamy. These people rock out. They're geniuses. They're not Marxists. So looking ahead at what potentially could happen, the Republicans might have the president for the next 20 years. If CNN and The View and propaganda media don't get off their crazy shit, all they're doing is ruining it for their Democratic Party. So the Democrat Party, you better have a different strategy. You better have a different strategy when you're reporting this shit. Because you're sinking yourselves deeper and deeper and deeper. You're only a whisper now. The election just proved that. And as long as you keep coming with that propaganda bullshit, you're going to become less of a whisper, if it's possible. You're not relevant. You're exposed. You know a magician that's trying to do a magician? It's like, hey, I saw that trick before. The Bonzo. So each county gets a vote. Sorry for not knowing. Well, it's the electoral vote, but there's a popular vote of just how many people just voted in general. And then the electoral vote has to more or less follow the popular vote, the electoral college. So there's two things in play. The popular vote was the difference of just numbers. How many people voted for Trump? How many people voted for Harris? The popular vote. Well, Trump won by over 6 million, Mr. Bonzo, the Bonzo. That's unheard of. That's unheard of. On top of 99% negative media, on top of lawfare, on top of the weaponization of the Department of Justice, on top of everything, he performed like that. America come out and spoke. Just like England and all what they're trying to do in England is the same thing they try to do in America. These are globalists from the same script, the Bonzo. They're the same. They're all from the globalist puppets. From the try to do this in America, try to do this in Australia, try to do this in France, try to do this in England. It's the same script. So when are they going to realize that nobody cares about your proper report some news, CNN? When's the last time you reported news other than political bullshit? Are you going to realign and try to move a little more to the middle and quit being extreme radical bullshit? Will you learn your lesson? The View, will you learn your lesson? CBS, ABC, CNN, will you learn your lesson? And try to align with America's prove that what they want? Or are you just going to be against what America wants? Yeah. Tulsi's got a shot to be the first female president. I agree. Hillary, sorry Kamala. Oh, the Marxists try to put these scums in there. Hillary can't take the pressure. She can't take the pressure. We're not against women. We're against scumbag evil people that just happen to be women. Oh, they're misogynists. They're chauvinists. They're this. Newsflash: more women voted for the Republican president than ever. Newsflash, CNN. Newsflash, The View. More women supported Donald Trump than ever. Okay. More blacks supported Donald Trump than ever. How about this, folks? More Americans voted for Donald Trump than ever. Whatever your demographic was, whatever this was, more Christians. Of course, more Christians voted for Donald Trump because what they do during the Olympics, they had a freaking freak show, gay homo show for the Olympics, and they mocked the Last Supper. So who was their strategist and all that said, we don't align with that? Why didn't they come out and say, well, we don't align with that? Joe Biden, Harris, we don't align with that. They loved it. You lost all the Christians. You lost every demographic you could lose. Americans voted for Donald Trump. Some happened to be black. Some happened to be Asian. Some happened to be Christians. Some happened to just be common sense thinkers. Some Americans voted for it. Okay, CNN and The View. Now they're still trying to sit over there on The View and play the blame game because black women voted like this. So you're a criminal. Black men voted for Trump. Everybody voted for Trump. Whatever your race, creed, gender, everybody voted for Trump. Americans voted for Trump. So propaganda news could sit back for the next 4 years and mother F all these other demographics. They could cry. I want to send a box of Kleenex and diapers to The View. If I could afford it, I would send a box of Kleenex and some diapers. Put it in a box, send it to ABC, The View. The autopsy, folks. The coroner's report. You alienated everybody you could. How could you not see that? The Christian vote alone. Defunding the police alone. Who would promote that shit? You want to change Easter one day? You want to change Easter into National Transgender Month? Who thought of this? Who's on their campaign? Lucifer? Satan? You want to turn the Holy Covenant Easter Sunday, they want to turn that into Transgender Month. Take Easter off and take one day off the calendar and put a month of National Transgender Month. So who's the transgenders? It's 0.000001% of the population versus millions of Christians. Do you think they just threw this election? You'd have to say they'd have to be throwing this election. How many people do you want to alienate? National Transgender Month and take Easter off the calendar? Just shoot yourself in the head. How? And now CNN and The View are going, what happened? I don't know. They did this. They're racist. Oh my gosh, they're no good. That's Hitler. Oh my God, what happened? You did everything you could to lose the election. The people come out and demonstrated that on this bloodbath called an election. You did everything to not get votes. So Kamala, Joe Biden, and Obama, you could thank CNN and The View and other print, New York Times, Washington Post. Thank all them. Thank all them. It's going to take years for them to get any credibility now. Years. If they ever get any credibility, they haven't had any credibility. If they could just get 1% to just say credible, they've never made a realistic, valid point. Just propaganda. Propaganda. Thank you, the Bonzo. I appreciate that. So, will they learn? That remains to be seen. Will they learn? But if they don't move more to the center and not be devils, radical devils, they're not radicals. There's radicals, historical radicals. This is radicalism never seen before in America. So they better get some strategists. I could be your strategist, but I don't work for the devil. So they better figure it out, because they'll keep sinking. And if they don't switch their game plan up, there's going to be a whole line of Republican presidents coming in. A whole line. Because what's going to happen? Donald Trump is going to prove what he did before, which was great. He made America great again, and he will do that again. So now you're going to get more Democrats that like that, because there's going to be some Democrats that are going to be eating some meat and potatoes instead of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. So they're going to be like, by the way, I like this guy. I'm going to vote for J.D. Vance now. Yeah. And then they're going to prosper under J.D. Vance, and they're going to be like, oh yeah, that's cool. I want to vote for Tulsi Gabbard or Vivek Ramaswamy. Everything's going good. The Democrat Party might not ever get a foothold anywhere. And they won't have the House and Senate and the Supreme Court either. They're effed. If they don't start coming up with real stuff for real Americans, they won't have the House, they won't have the Senate, and they won't have the Supreme Court. That's fine with me. That's fine with me. They better realign. They better sit down. Obama and all them, you know. The Bonzo, they're supposed to act accordingly, like the electoral vote, when they see in their districts and their states what the numbers were, because otherwise there'd be anarchy. That everybody would know who would they vote. So the electoral college can't be real cute like they were the first time around. You could have so overwhelming popular vote, then the electoral vote will come in and say, it's a tight race. We ain't counted votes yet. They held these votes, these outstanding states. They held these outstanding states because Florida could count 100 million votes in 2 hours, but these other states can't count 3 million votes in 6 days. You know why, folks? Because they thought it was the polls, the goofy polls, that said it was tight. The election's tight, the goofy polls. So they were going to hold 2 or 3 states and put them on deck in case the election was tight, and they were going to come in and say, Kamala took those states. Well, it didn't happen. Trump won the election before midnight. So they couldn't hold that little ace in the hole with these outstanding states that for some reason can't count their votes 5 days after the election. They were holding them so they could come in, and then if they needed those electoral votes at the end of this election, they can spoon feed them in. Thank God we didn't need that. He won every state. He won all the battleground states, I believe. He won them all. What's that tell these people? The gig is up. The gig is up. You are Bonzo? Yeah, it's more or less like that. The structure of it. Hmm. And how come they refuse the voting machines while they're trying to fricking get everything on their side? Voting machines that would have oversight, built-in stuff. See, did you see on election night that all of a sudden Arizona had problems, and then all of a sudden some other states, they had problems with their voting machines? Really? Really? What were they trying to buy time until they seen it was a bloodbath and it didn't even matter? It didn't even matter. They were counting on that they would come into play late hour, and those would be the electoral votes that got them over the hump. It didn't work this time. Fire all your strategists, fire CNN, fire The View. They're doing you more harm than they're doing you good. Hmm. That's like a wife that knows your husband's cheating, but they're still, they're still stay married. You know, they're sick, Wyatt Earp. They're sick. They can't take the pressure. Holy cow. They are anti all common sense and logic for a paycheck. For a paycheck, propaganda media. 99% negative media against Donald Trump. On a loop. 99% negative ads, negative commentary, negative newspapers, Washington Post, LA Times, New York Times, all negative propaganda bullshit. So all the voices, 99% of the voices were against Donald Trump in propaganda media. Karl Marx is rolling in his grave. Karl Marx, Marxism, he's rolling in his grave. How could you have that much of an advantage during an election and still lose in a landslide? How? Well, the paper I wrote in 1981 titled The Dumbing Down of America. And I wrote in that paper that America might come to a position where it was during this election. And my professor said, well, that's kind of far-fetched. I says, I'm watching this stuff, the news and the media, and it can evolve into something like that. It finally came into play this last election, where they had everything on their side, and they still lost. They still lost. They had 99.9% the best of it, and they underestimated Donald Trump. Now, Donald Trump's 80 years old. What about the infamous picture that should be on the covers of social studies books? If the world of the schools and colleges, if they could catch up to normalcy, well, the picture with the blood running down Trump's face, fight, fight, fight. That infamous picture with the blood running down his face, that should be on the cover of children's social studies books. That picture should be on the cover of the children's social studies books. This is democracy. Fight for democracy, not Marxism. That should be on the cover. This guy, they 47 felony counts, gibberish felony counts, lawfare. Try to put him in jail. They're trying to break his finances. Everything that they could do, they use against him, like communist countries, and it failed. That's like taking a deck of cards and stacking it so you could beat your opponent and just have all the aces here and everything, and you're going, geez, how did I lose? I stacked the deck. Well, that other guy was a little smarter than me. He knew the reverse move on that. What is hidden in the dark will be revealed by the light. What is hidden in the dark will be revealed by the light. You Marxist scumbag Obamas and Bezos and Soros and Hillary and all them, you got exposed. Hillary, you showed your ass. Obama, you showed your ass. Kamala, you showed your ass. Biden, he don't count. Joe Biden don't even count. Joe Biden don't even count. Joe Biden don't even count. I'll tell you one thing. Did you see Joe Biden come out to make his statement? I never seen him so energetic, Joe Biden, when he coming to say, well, this is this, and that. They kicked Joe Biden out. They kicked Joe Biden out, and he come back. Boy, did he have some pep in his step. He loved it that Kamala got torn apart. He loved it. Oh, you're going to throw me out and put a coup in, and this is what happened. Joe Biden, yeah, I'm not a supporter, no shit. I'm not, but that was priceless. Joe Biden, he come out, boy, he was feeling frisky. Joe Biden come out there, yay, hey, I'm going to call Donald Trump up and thank him. Joe Biden going to call up Donald Trump and thank him. Here, Pelosi, go home, Nancy Pelosi, go home. Chuck Schumer, all you crybabies, it's over. Go home. Go home. They want to put Joe Biden on Mount Rushmore. Put Joe Biden's ass cheeks on Mount Rushmore. Yeah. You want to put Joe Biden on Mount Rushmore. Put his ass cheeks on Mount Rushmore. They're all crying. They're all crying. Joe Biden come out and said, I'm going to call Donald Trump and thank him. Here, Nancy Pelosi. Here, Obama. Here, Schumer. Here. You did that to me. And I'm not a fan of Joe Biden, but he come up there, going to call Donald Trump and thank him. And wish him a good transition of power. Wow. Holy cow. Yeah. You think he really likes Kamala? Joe Biden got the last laugh. Ain't that something? Joe Biden got the last laugh. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Joe Biden. He's laughing. Now when he goes to take his nap, he'll have a little smile on his face. Have a little smile on his face. Yeah. Go back to California, Kamala. Go back to California. Go back to Minnesota, Tim Walz. Go back and screw your bullshit over there. Where you're losing in your approval anyways. California voted Republican more than ever. Minnesota voted more than ever. And they had the president candidate and the vice president candidate. Go back to your shitbox states until they turn Republican. Okay? Go right ahead. I love it. I love it. We had to put up with this bullshit and insanity, perverted woke, DEI. We had to put up with this shit for 4 years. So don't worry about what segment of America voted for Trump. Every segment, every demographic, Americans voted for Donald Trump. Americans. And sorry that the illegal aliens couldn't vote. That strategy backfired. Let's just get all the illegal aliens and you don't need any voter ID. They're trying to push that through Congress before the election so they can use 10 million illegal aliens to go vote and then get a $10,000 debit card. Yeah, that backfired. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Listen, Pablito, you're a criminal murder from Venezuela. How about this, Pablito? Here's 10,000. All you got to do, you don't need any ID. Just go vote for Kamala Harris, Tim Walz. Yeah, sorry, didn't work. Sorry, didn't work. And now they're crying about deportation. How about this? Donald Trump will assemble a deportation plan. And yes, sorry, The View, sorry, CNN. Yes, get these illegals out of our country and give us a defined border again. Every country, last time I looked, had a defined border. We don't. So they got 10,000 school buses waiting to go to New York, number one, California, Florida, Minnesota, and every other state, and the roundup is coming. You go home, and then you come back the legal way, and it's cool. Who would be against that? They are. Propaganda media, Kamal. Who would be against that? That's just logic and common sense. You got to obey the rules. Come in America, show your ID, show this and that, and then you come in. In the meantime, everybody going home. Round them up, send them back, start over. Then if you want to come over, when we have a border, when we have the border set up, then we can do that the right way. It's very common sense. Yeah. It's all common sense. How many Americans got how many Americans got victimized by illegal aliens? Everywhere. Everywhere. Who did they vote for? Who did they vote for? They emptied out all the prisons and sent them to America. Yeah, okay. What kind of evil MFs are these people? So CNN, we're not supposed to deport them? Mass deportation, CNN? We don't know who they are. Send them back home, and then they could come through the real way, and we could find out who they are. Well, here's a news flash: those criminals aren't going to be trying to come through the border because they know Trump is on his game, and you ain't getting into the country. So take that off the table. You think they're going to be sitting in Venezuela or Chile or Brazil or Ecuador and going, yeah, let's go get in America. Oh, no, there's a border now. There's border security now. Well, no, that's off the table. So that doesn't even come into play. But in the meantime, let's get the rest of these MFs out of here, and then we could get figure out what the hell's going on. You know how many terrorist gangs have infiltrated into America during these past 4 years that already have footholds in America? From Iran, they're here. They're here. And God forbid that they don't try to pull off cutie pie moves, because Kamala and Joe Biden let them in. Then they wonder why they lost the election. Propaganda media is going, I don't know. And now the Democrats are fighting within themselves. The Democrats are, you think the Democrats, but now they're internally, they know what happened. They're playing the blame game. What happened? I don't know. He said it. She said it. I don't know. Well, they better switch it up now. Try to get more, if they ever could recover. Me personally, propaganda media can't really recover. They better move toward the middle and report facts. Report facts, not propaganda bullshit so you could try to win an election. This election saved America from socialism. Newsflash. Once they got power in government, they would never let go of it. They were never going to let go. If they won this election, they would never release power. You could forget about the election process in 2028 because that would have been off the table. No, Donald Trump saved America. He saved it. Single-handedly saved it with everything against him. Me personally, Donald Trump turned his head, took the bullet in the ear because that was divine intervention. God and Jesus saved Donald Trump so Donald Trump could save America for evil, perverted, Marxist, globalist puppet masters, Obama, Hillary, Soros, Bezos, Bill Gates saved us from these demons. Donald Trump turned his head. Ironically, Donald Trump turned his head at the rally to comment about the immigration chart, and the bullet come. God saved Donald Trump so Donald Trump could save America. This was a biblical election. You would have seen World War III. You would have seen World War III. Do you know how these world powers were so praying for Kamala Harris to get elected? Putin, Che, Korea, all them. You know how disappointed they are that Donald Trump, because now you got a list. Yeah. Hello, Putin. Yeah, it's me, Donald Trump. Remember me? They actually get along. They actually get along. Yeah, I'm back. Listen, enough of your bullshit over there in the Ukraine and everything. That's over. Okay? Yeah. I'll talk to you. Say hello to the wife. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Enough of your bullshit, Putin. Yeah. Okay, that's over. Yeah. Iran and the infiltration of Iran that already got death threats against Donald Trump. They're here. They just got caught in New York City. Terrorist mofos trying to assassinate Donald Trump. They're going to try to assassinate Donald Trump every day. Yeah, hello, Iran. Yeah, how about this? I'm going to bankrupt your country. I'm going to blow the shit out of your bullshit country. I'm going to take all your oil. So now what do you want to do, Billy? What do you want to do, Billy? Oh, how about China and Tim Walz and Kamala and the Democrat Party that's in bed with China? Hey, China, remember me? Yeah, listen, I'm not going to accept any of your products from China. Everything is made in China. Now, listen, Sally, this is why we're going to do it. I'm going to impose 35% tariffs on all that bullshit you're coming over, you're importing over, you're exporting over here. How about 35% on that? Yeah, I'm back. So get over it. I'm back. Okay. The sheriff is back. In other words, the sheriff is back. And that promotes peace. Because when you're talking about, I'm gonna bash you in, they're gonna run back. But they were praying that Kamala Harris won so they could come in and turn us. They already got infiltrators. They already got infidels everywhere. But as long as the Republicans control this country for the next 10 or 12 years, they will be weeded out and quit polluting our country. So Putin already knows. Putin's a cutie pie. He's a master politician. He knows Donald Trump personally. Their wives are friends. But don't mess with our country. I might get along with you and I come stay at the mansion and and all this. But you also know, Putin, that I will rock your world. North Korea, I will rock your world. China, I will rock your world. And where do you sell most of your bullshit products? You sell them in America. So Donald Trump speaking, I could economically just put a stranglehold on your economy. All these bad acting countries. I didn't see Joe Biden or Kamala Harris because these two scums, mostly Joe Biden, made money off of these countries. Career politicians. That's that, folks. There you have it. God bless America. Thank you, the Bonzo. I appreciate your support. Hit the like button. Ain't there a good feeling now? It's like that feeling of evil on you when you're watching Biden and Harris and Walz and you're watching that propaganda. There's a feeling on you like, what is this? Help us, God, help us. Now I'm walking on a cloud. Walking on a cloud. Everybody I walk by today, I'm going to say hello to. Everybody I walk by, how you doing, sir? How you doing, ma'am? How you doing? Everything's nice. Everybody I walk by, tally ho, have a good day, mate. Everybody, everybody. So thank you, Kathy. Thank you, the Bonzo. Thank you, EB23. Thank you, everybody. Help my channel out. I've been censored. I've been fighting. I've been fighting for this election. I got censored because of this election. I've been fighting. Help a guy out over here. Just hit the like button. There's a link to my book. I wrote a book. It's a good book. It's an autobiography. It's a memoir. Help a guy out here. Come on. Things will be good for your wallets down the road. Maybe we'll all have a little more money. We can buy some freaking hamburgers. I'm not even trying to get steak. I'm just trying to graduate from bologna to a hamburger. And then if I get the hamburger, I want to put a piece of cheese because it's $100 for a block of cheese. I'm trying to make a cheeseburger over here. Thank you, the Bonzo. The Bonzo read it. The Bonzo read it. Thank you, the Bonzo. God bless you and your family. God bless everybody. Now, yeah, we could pile on and everything, but let's move on and just get to other things. You know, they're gonna behave the way they behave, but let's, we gotta rise up and have good lives. Have good lives. So thank you, everybody. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. And staying with me through all this censorship and everything. And you know what? It proves to me that I must have been doing something good to get censored. So at the end of the day, I'm all right with that. I'm all right with that. There's a formula used on YouTube and social media that when they start seeing how your subscribers are going, and every month or every 2 months, every 3 months, every 6 months, and that you can use a calculator to determine the truth serum had 1,100 in this amount of month. So it'll show you how you could escalate. I would have had 67,000 subscribers by now, but I'm frozen on whatever the hell it is. I would have had 67,000 subscribers by now. A lowball estimate. They froze me at 1,200, these communist scumbags at YouTube. You communist scumbags at YouTube. I'm stuck on 1,100. At the rate I was going, I'd had 70,000, at least, lowball figure, with the calculator that, I was exponentially gaining rapidly. But they said, here, you want to talk about that scumbag Brittany Griner? Well, YouTube. Brittany Griner's a scumbag, okay? She's a scumbag. Kamala Harris is a scumbag. Obama's a scumbag. Hillary Clinton's a scumbag. They're scumbags, YouTube, okay? They're scumbags. All right? You folks at YouTube that got me censored, you know what? The vengeance that you got cursed, you're going to be cursed in your lives. You're going to lose your jobs. You're going to wonder why. Because he who laughs last laughs the best, okay? The day of reckoning is coming for that. Well, Elon Musk got X because you can have freedom of speech on X. Elon Musk created X because YouTube tries to censor people from their First Amendment rights, okay? So fuck you, YouTube, okay? How about that? The moderator, you got a moderator watching this? Fuck you, moderator, all right? Trump won. Sorry, Trump won. Biden's gone. Harris is gone. Hillary Clinton's gone. Obama's gone. Bezos is gone. Soros is gone. Bill Gates is gone. Fuck you, YouTube. Fuck you. God praise Donald Trump and the good people that come in here. So thank you, Jesus. We're on the right team. At least I could go to sleep at night knowing I'm at the right team. I'm on the right team. All right, folks. God bless y'all. Have a great weekend. Let's just walk on clouds and watch all CNN. Watch them all cry like bitches. Jimmy Kimmel, they chopped his balls off. He's crying on his show. Jimmy Kimmel, he's crying. They're all crying. Harvard University had the day off so the students can mourn the election. Yale had milk and cookies for the people and they could lay on their blankets and cry. Yale, all their academic media bullshit, all these colleges that are freaking indoctrinizing your children into bullshit. They're little faggy students, they're little wimpy woke fags, homos and lesbians. They couldn't take the fucking election, and they needed to freaking have a mourning. We need a couple days off so we could cry about the election results. You fucking retards. You straight up retards, little bitches. America don't want that. America don't want that, okay? Take me right off of YouTube, you motherfuckers. I'm feeling great about President Trump. All you motherfuckers doing everything the wrong way. Harvard, Yale, Princeton. They're actually literally giving them milk and cookies. Literally. Safe spaces around the campuses so they could sit there and cry. Safe spaces so the students could sit and cry that Trump got elected. You fucking pussies, you little fucking wimp cocksuckers that you are. That's what you are. This might be my last video, so I'm going to get it all in. You evil devil fucking psychopath motherfuckers. You're crying. You're crying. How about teaching the students something? How about teaching? It costs $1 million to go to Harvard and Princeton and Yale and all that bullshit. Teach them how to be strong, because guess what? When they get out into the world, it's a very competitive world. If they're going to sit back and cry and can't accept an election, how are they going to fare in the real world when they got to work in competition to get jobs? Fuck them all. You're all fucked. You all got exposed. You wanna cuddle them now. Safe spaces because the students are crying. How about educating them? You charge them enough tuition. How about educating them on something? How about educating them? Because if you think you're going to be a little bitch, fucking queer homo, and your lesbians and woke motherfucker freak shows, if you think an election is going to crush you like that, what about when you go out into the real world and have to be involved in some real competition? Because DEI is gone. You can't count on DEI jobs anymore. That's over. So you're going to need to compete in real life. How pitiful that happens in academia. How pitiful. These retarded motherfuckers. How pitiful they are. how pitiful. Wow. That's it, folks. I'm going to rock and roll. God bless you all. Thank you to Bonzo. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate it. So we're going to come back. I'm going to keep going now. I'm piling on. Fuck you, YouTube, until you take me off. Fuck you, Facebook. They already censored me on Facebook. I did some good things on there, but they're manipulating stuff. Yeah. A person from the Republican Party, a high official, Carrie, I can't remember her name, Carrie, reached out to me and they took it off. We can't communicate. How the hell did she watch my videos? A high-level Republican candidate person with Trump reached out to me, and I went back in to do it, and Facebook took it off. Those motherfuckers at Facebook took it off. Little old me. Little old me. What are they so worried about, little old me? Little old me. Because I'm smarter than all of them. I'm smarter than all those fucking retarded motherfuckers. YouTube and Facebook. Well, guess what? People voted and they agree with me. I'm just a sacrificial lamb that comes out there, and I'll take it. I'm the sacrificial lamb because Bonzo, Anderson, Wyatt Earp, I'm trying to tell the people what you can't tell them on social media. I am the sacrifice. I sacrificed my ability to make money and grow. So I didn't sell out. So Facebook and YouTube, I'm done on as far as rising up. But I'm glad because the victory is in. I'm 61 years old. Yeah, I like doing videos and everything like that. But, when they eliminate your ability to grow, but it was worth it to me. So That's it, folks. God bless everybody. We're gonna pile on. Well, I'm gonna keep piling on. You know that until they turn me right off, until they just kick me right off. These motherfuckers at YouTube, they hear me. They're listening right now. These motherfuckers at YouTube, until you turn me completely off, I'm gonna keep doing it. We're gonna pile on. We're gonna pile on and keep showing how fucked up these Democrats are. Okay. We're gonna do some more gangster stories too. We're gonna do some more gangster stories also. All right. So that's it, folks. Enjoy, and I'll get back to you soon. Thank you, everybody, for your support. The Bonzo.